specialist for apprenticeships with LARP. I'm going to be leading today's meeting, and if you haven't already, please introduce yourself in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and start us off with our DAS updates. I saw Monica here earlier. Okay, Monica and Andrea, I'll go ahead and pass it off to you.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. Apologies, I'm getting over being sick. So my update is going to be really quick. It's going to be same as last week because we really don't have anything too big coming up as of right now. We did just want to remind everyone that the employer ambassador nominations are being accepted until July 1st. I know I went over it last week as well, so I won't get into too much detail, but I will be including the link again in the chat for everyone. And I also did want to just remind everyone that we do have our apprenticeship e-newsletter online as well. That'll keep you updated on anything that comes in. Kind of just smaller updates too, might just be about certain apprenticeships, give you some nice updates from there. So I'm going to include that as well. It's just something nice to keep on top of if you have any questions. I'll also put in again my email because if you have any questions and you want to ask me directly, feel free. I'm always there for you all. So that's it from me. I'll add in some links shortly. So be on the lookout for that and I'll pass it back.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Monica. And next, we'll go ahead and pass it off to Dr. Sabrina Lopez from the Chancellor's Office. I saw Dr. Lopez joined us.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Also, just a few brief updates on my end. So first, the governor's office released their May revised budget for the fiscal year 26-27. Our team conducted a preliminary review of the budget with a targeted focus on the two apprenticeship funding sources that our team specifically oversees, and that's RSI funding and the California Apprenticeship Initiative Grant Program. Based on our preliminary review, we saw that the CHI grant was sustained at its regular base funding appropriation, while RSI funding received a slight increase. So next steps is we're waiting on the budget bill to be released later this month. And then once that is released, we will follow up with a more detailed memo released from the Chancellor's office so that we can really dive into the details and specific totals of the funding that are outlined in the budget bill. And then next, I wanted to mention that we are actively planning for our CHI grant recipients that were just funded within the last RFA. So they are going to begin their performance periods beginning this July 1st. There were 25 applications, that were awarded, and those are funding both California community colleges and K-12 partners in implementing or expanding registered pre-apprenticeships and apprenticeship programs. So emails will be sent out to those recipients regarding the next steps. There's also a required step to accept the funding in NOVA, and then the grant agreements will be sent via Simply Signed shortly. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez. And then next, I want to introduce Pasadena City College's Teacher Aide Apprenticeship Program. We've been working very closely with the college on developing this program, on registering apprentices, the orientation, and really seeing it built. And it's been such an amazing pipeline to explore. So I want to pass it off to Dr. Leticia Rojas to share more about the teacher aide apprenticeship, pre-apprenticeship information, and really showcase all the great work that they've done at the college.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, folks. I definitely recognize some faces and names here. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. And I'm not going to do formal slides. I just wanted to showcase a little bit, but I thought maybe I could do it through some visuals. I think that's always helpful. I just wanted to present on our Teacher Aide Apprenticeship Program. We were able to get the CAI grant a couple years back. So this is the beginning of our third year. And we've been waiting the DOS, all the things that some folks have been waiting for. And so we were super lucky to partner with Launch and begin to really start to register our students that have been working with us for a little bit of time. We currently have about 19 students who are placed. We're working right now on getting all of them registered through Launch. And they're working across different employer partners. We initially, when we were envisioning the program, we were mostly thinking about TK through 12th grade. And it's really kind of evolved into quite a bit of early childhood, which is exciting as well. We have San Gabriel Unified School District. I'll show you the list of partners here. As the and Citizens of the World Charter, which is in Silver Lake and a couple of other locations, as our K through 12 partner. And then we also are partnering with California Children's Academy, our very own Child Development Center at PCC, which has been quite a successful partnership there. Kids Town, Kiddo Care, and then hopefully more pending. But we have students that are placed there, and they're working to get their associate's degree in. They have some options in what they get their associates, but most of our students are earning an associate's in early childhood, or in elementary education, with a couple of folks who are kind of branching out into like the single subject areas. And then embedded in the associate's degree, we have a new certificate which we created as part of like our beginning planning stages for this a couple years back, an educational aid certificate. And we've already had 5 of them earn it. And so that's been exciting to kind of see, because I'm in education, we didn't have any certificates. We had all of them in child development. So that's been a super exciting part for me to be able to have a certificate in my department there. Just a couple highlights in terms of what we were able to do last year, and then we continued it this year. Uh, Part of the grant really focused on creating a partnership with transfer institutions, and so Cal State LA has been our biggest partner. We worked with them for the year to create an future educators event where we had their dean welcome us. We had, of course, a tour of the campus, but we had workshops and a panel of alumni all focused around education and teaching as a possible career. And so that was a mix of apprentices that went, just general PCC students who are aspiring educators, and then our pre-apprenticeship students, which are high school students taking dual enrollment, which I'll speak about very briefly after this. We She's not here, but my amazing uh, student-facing counterpart, Rebecca Martinez, is our counselor who works with students, and I think a huge part of why it's been successful in retaining students for the last year plus, even when we were kind of going through the the like all that hard work at the beginning to secure employer partners. She's been able to do lots of career related workshops like resume building, but also preparing for interviews. We also very quickly realized that some of our students, were coming from high school, and actually all of our students, to a certain extent, crave like the college experience as well. And because they're working during the day and then taking classes either synchronously or in the evening, they don't get a chance to really connect with one another as much. And so we brought in things like mixers and community building. So pumpkin painting nights, bowling events, things where they could, if they chose to, right? It's not a requirement, but many of them have taken us up on it, where they can meet with each other and get to know other apprentices. And then we also designed a course, Education 100, which already existed, but we specifically tagged it for our apprentices to take part in that 1 unit course, which is across 3 Saturdays. We realized that having a bunch of little info sessions wasn't as successful as, can we get our apprentices in one space and do more intensive kind of skill building, and then also have a space for our employer partners to come and present if they chose to. So just wanted to kind of highlight some of that. For me, because I was new to the apprenticeship world up until three years ago, it's been an incredibly complicated, challenging, but also super rewarding experience. Being able to support students as for some of them, it's their first or second job working with children, and really affirming and confirming for them that this is what they want to do. So that's been incredibly just rewarding for me. And then again, the big highlight, excuse me, for us was partnering with Launch, and so now getting students registered in that way. Um, Sorry, I'm losing my voice here. Just wanted to talk briefly about that. I didn't want to zoom past it, but and then just to highlight part of the CAI grant, we also went for a pre-apprenticeship application. We're still awaiting the connection of this program to an apprenticeship program, but we're in year two, and so even though technically, right, the numbers we're still waiting to be able to count those, it doesn't mean that the work hasn't been going on, and so wanted to showcase that we have about close to 25 to 30 high school students who have taken dual enrollment classes in education or child development along that educational aid certificate. They have also taken part in mixers, in workshops. Haley Castillo, who's amazing, does these 20 to 30-minute workshops either within their dual enrollment classes or as a pullout around radical imagination, re-envisioning teaching for social justice, more of the exploratory phases. And for these students, we've also had some really cool leadership opportunities where they presented a workshop with Haley in front of 70 people. It was an educational conference that we had at PCC. So three of the high school students co-created a workshop on what education should be from the mind of critical youth. And then they also uh, were going on a field trip. One of the students who just graduated, Diego, and is going to go to UC Berkeley next year, he also co-presented with us at the American Education Research Association conference this past April in Los Angeles, and we're hoping to include him as a possible third author on a piece that we're working on. So just to kind of showcase a little bit of what we've been up to in the last couple of years. Again, the apprenticeship program, which is at PCC students who are employed, of course, and then our pre-apprenticeship program across PUSD, Pasadena Unified School District, and Temple City, with the hopes that some of them will come to PCC and become apprentices. And we've already had two students who were pre-apprentices our first year and are now apprentices this year in our second year. So so that's been great to see. But I know I like zoomed past it, but I just wanted to kind of highlight that. And again, I'm a proponent of visuals because I think that makes all the difference. And so this is us presenting at Marshall High School with graduation stoles for our high school students. And then we also had a senior graduating high school senior night where they could bring in some families and we were able to give them awards that day as well. So just different images, but I'll pause there.
Thank you so much. And I know there's been so much interest too in education, early childhood. Are there any questions for Dr. Rojas? Okay, no worries. Well, if questions do come up, you know where to find her and you know where to find me. And we can always, connect and talk a little bit more about maybe what your vision is for apprenticeship too. But thank you so much for sharing for the visuals. And I'm excited, to see where the program goes too.
Thank you.
And so I know today we have a bit of a shorter agenda. It is summer, and I know that a lot of people are taking off, they're taking well-deserved vacations. But I wanted to share out one more event that's happening this afternoon. We have our last Employer Connections, Strengthening Healthcare and Manufacturing Workforces Through Apprenticeship, where Network Connection has invited potential industry partners to learn a little bit more about apprenticeship and ways to engage. So if you do know of any partners that would be interested in joining, and I know it's a little bit last minute, but please feel free to share out. And then, as always, on our agenda, we have shared out multiple resources regarding your apprenticeship support. Are there any questions before we log off today? Any questions, any events that you'd like to share out, comments? We have plenty of time today. Okay, no problem. I get it. It's summertime. People want to take off. And I know some of you have a short week as well. But I will hang on for a few minutes since it's very early. But thank you all for joining us today. Please join us for our next meeting in July. We are actually going to have a couple of workforce boards presenting. And I'll put the feeler out right now. If there are other workforce boards that would like to join in and share their resources on our July call, that will be July 21st at 11 a.m. We'd love to showcase resources and ways that colleges can tap in to that support. Well, thank you all so much and have a wonderful week.